Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Tim Lulua. If you're new here, thank you for clicking on this video. I share lessons from my life, books and movies in order to help you evolve into a better version of yourself. Today I am sharing on goal setting. It is the new year. Everybody's excited. We're setting goals, we're making new year resolutions, we're making plans. And you might just be somewhere in the corner of the world just wondering, this is overwhelming. I'm not exactly sure how to set good goals or goals that are achievable, or I have outstanding goals that I'm yet to achieve and I don't know what to do about it. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 tips to help make your goals more likely to be achieved. I also just want to say that sometimes you do not need new goals. You just need to know how to properly break down the goal that you've already set so that you can achieve it. The first tip I'm going to share is use the SMART template, the SMART template, and I'm going to explain that. I have a blog post where I actually go into detail about using the SMART template, and I will just briefly share an example from there. So for instance, if your goal is to save more money, specific makes it, so S stands for specific. So that means that you're saying this is how much money I want to save. You're saying I want to save $5,000 or $2,000. That's how much you're planning to save. Specific. Measurable, you can actually count that it's working or it's not working. So because money has a unit, money is measurable, so that's a good goal. So for instance, if you're to lose weight and you're like, I want to lose 5 pounds, how do you know that you've lost 5 pounds? You get on a scale and you can see that, okay, you decrease from 70 kilogram to 65 kilogram. So that's 5 kilogram. But you can see that you decrease from a certain pound to a certain pound weight. So that shows you that's measurable for you. So A for attainable. So how achievable is that goal for you? Which also ties into the R part, which is realistic. So basically with how much you earn, how much you spend, and all your expenses and any miscellaneous expense that would come up, can you actually save up to the desired amount for that year? Can you actually save 5,000 for that year based on your income and things like that? Then timely, like by what time do you want to save the 5,000? If your goal is at the end of the year, you're like, I want 5,000 in my account saved at the end of the year, that's time bound. You're saying 12 months is what's going to take me there. Something else you can now do is do 5,000 over 12 to know how much you should save per month. The SMART template helps you to actually kind of expand more on the goal and say, how can this possibly be done? And this gives you a bigger picture than just, I just want to do this. It helps you also ask more questions about what exactly do I want to do and by when do I want to do it. So that's the SMART. I'll link the blog post as well to kind of give more context to what I'm saying. The second tip is to reframe your goal as a being goal. So this means if you want to save 5,000, so using that example, if I want to save more money, but really what you want to be is to be a better manager of money. So basically you want to budget better. You want to be able to plan your finances better. You want to be able to not just spend haphazardly, like just spend anyhow. You want to be careful with how much you're spending and being aware of where your money is going. So that's kind of like, I want to be better with money, which is like the overall goal. So sometimes you might not even be able to save $5,000. You end up saving maybe $4,000. Does that mean that your goal wasn't accomplished? No. If you end up becoming better with your budgeting, you end up becoming better with knowing how much gets into your account, knowing where your money is going into, then you can actually say that your goal is accomplished. So think about your goals and think, how can I reframe my goal in such a way that it becomes a being goal, not just a doing goal, not just the outcome, but the process. And this is also important because it helps you to be able to repeat it. So if I'm studying for something, I sometimes I know the answer, maybe I'm memorizing it, but if I know the steps, I don't do a lot of memorizing the actual answer because I know that using the steps, if I repeat the steps over and over again, I can definitely get to my desired answer. So just something like that to think about when you're thinking about the process. Try and see that goal. Is there a way that I can phrase it as something that I become over something that I just do, so that I'm just not ticking a box, but I'm actually understanding the process? So that's number 2. Number 3 is use blocks of time. 365 days is a lot. Sometimes you're planning 365 days, you're like, I have a lot of time, I am going to put in so many things, and you overload yourself. Now try and break your year into 4. So quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Or break your year into 3 or 2, whatever really works for you. Then ask yourself, what goal can I put in this quarter and focus on? Basically, what this means is you do a goal dump. You're saying, this is everything that I have in mind to do in year 2022. This. And then you can categorize. So maybe group all your spiritual goals together, your physical, like health-wise, your career, everything, school goals, group it together. And then I'll say, first quarter, January to March, I want to focus and nail this one very well. So maybe pick 2 or 3. I'll say pick 2 just to maximize your focus. Maybe pick 2 and say, this is what I would actually focus on from January to March, from April to June, something like that, so that you're able to actually spend more time on that goal versus being everywhere. So when you're like have different things pulling at you, you're not able to actually concentrate and give something good attention. But when you're able to say, okay, this is what I'll focus on, then you can actually pour your heart into it for that time, master it, and then move on. Do you understand? So breaking into blocks of like quarters or halves would also help you say, okay, if I have January to March and my goal is to save 5,000, that means in quarter 1 I should be saving 1,500, 1,200 at the very least. So that means in January I want to save 500. In February, it's Valentine's, I have a spouse, I'm going to give gifts, I might not be able to save 500, so I would aim for 300. In March, okay, I still have my money, I would be able to save $500. So do you understand how that kind of helps you to break into even smaller chunks? Because that's how these goals are really achieved. You have to break them into smaller chunks where they become like weekly, daily steps that you're taking to be able to accomplish your goal. So that's step number 3. Number 4 is asking yourself the 5 W's and 1 H. So that's for your action plan. Now I've talked about the broad context of the goal. I want to save $5,000. Then that is the what? That's the goal. I want to save $5,000 this year. So I'm going to say what the 5 W's and 1 H is, or what they stand for. What 5 W and 1 H stands for. It stands for the when, the who, the what, the why, the where, and the how, in no particular order. So the what, I want to save $5,000. The who, I am the primary person who is important in this $5,000 really. I'm the one who is aware of what goes into my account and what comes out of my account. So me. If you have kids, your children might kind of determine your who again, because then they're dependent on you and you have to sort of be aware of their expenses as well. So the who. The where do I want to save this money? In a different bank account, in the same bank account? Do I want to open a different savings altogether? Just the where. Then the when, like by what time do I want this to be achieved? So at the end of the year, I want this to be achieved. If you're thinking about, okay, for a monthly goal, I want to save 500. So maybe at the end of January, I want to have saved $500. That's the when. And then the last part is the why. Why do you want to save that much money? What do you want the 5,000 at the end of the year? I want to direct it towards my emergency fund, something like that. So that is also, that keeps you going. Your why is important because it keeps you going. You're like, okay, I can't do this because I have somewhere that I'm going. I have a reason for doing it. So that's your why. And then the how is now the narrowing down. Okay, so in January, this means I will not eat out a lot. I'm going to ask my friends if we can actually do like a get together in the house where we order food in, if that's cheaper for us. So things like that you're trying to think about how to save costs and how to ensure that you're meeting your savings targets. So that's the how. And then the 5th tip is frequent evaluation. You have to consistently check in. Is this goal being met? January, is this goal being met? Second week in January, you have to make it frequent. Sometimes we wait till the end of the year to review the year and you might have forgotten some details. So every month or every 2 weeks or every week, whatever frequency really works for you, you do it so that you're able to stay on top of it. And remember, you can tweak your goals. Your goals are not the master of you, like you are the master of the goal. So you tweak it to actually see if it's working or if it's not working, and you revise it. It's not working, I need a different strategy. You revise it, it's not working, it's not looking attainable anymore. So I want to save $5,000 at the end of the year, but I lost my job. It's not realistic to save 5,000 anymore. What else can I reframe this goal as? Do I have to drop it? Do I have to change my goal? Something like that. So revise it, evaluate it frequently to increase your likelihood of achieving the goal. Yeah, I hope that these tips have been helpful. Please let me know what you do in order to help you accomplish your goals. I know that accountability is also something that you can explore, where you share these goals with somebody who also says, hey, have you done this? How are you doing with this? And checks in on you. And then you're like, okay, I have to report to somebody. And that helps as well with accomplishing your goal. So I come your way next time. Please do not forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. I have tons of videos that you can learn from, and I'm so delighted, and I'm looking forward to you joining the family. There's tons of things that we have packed with you. I hope that those tips will help you. Shush. 1, 2, 3.